Hi guys, Justin here. Satellite communication devices are becoming super popular in the backcountry, and today I'm talking about why my Garmin InReach is one of my favorite pieces of gear. So there's primarily two brands in the satellite communication device world, and that's Garmin and Spot. Spot's been producing satellite communicators for quite a long time, and Garmin several years ago purchased the company DeLorme that produced the InReach, as started incorporating the DeLorme and InReach technology into their own devices. Satellite communication devices started off as being primarily SOS devices. So with the Spot and InReach, you'd press an SOS button and that would send a signal to the GEOS organization that would then coordinate first response and search and rescue. And while that's a great feature, since then the devices have evolved and you can now have two-way communication where you can send a message to somebody's cell phone or email address and they can respond to you through the satellite constellation. So I've been using satellite communication devices for a very long time for work. When I'm at work and we're going into the field to do an assessment on a river like this, or looking for rare plants or bird species, we'll bring an InReach or Spot device with us to communicate with the office to let them know that everything's okay, and just in case there is an emergency. At the beginning of last summer, I picked up the Garmin InReach Mini for personal use, and it's been great. There's really 5 main reasons that I think the Garmin InReach is a spectacular device and something that really everyone should consider having for any sort of backcountry activities that they're doing. The first reason is the most obvious, and that's SOS and search and rescue capabilities. So you take off this little tab here and there's an SOS button there. You hold that for 30 seconds and you're getting an SOS message sent out and communication with search and rescue gets initiated. The nice thing is in that most of North America, search and rescue is free. So you don't need to worry about getting charged for the helicopter if you're in a legit emergency. And where I am in Alberta in the Rocky Mountains, we have some of the best search and rescue capabilities in the world. So I feel very comfortable having this if there is a significant emergency when I'm out in the backcountry. That's not to say that you should rely on these, and I think a lot of people are starting to be unprepared when they're going into the backcountry because they have an InReach. Something to keep in mind is it can be as quick as a couple hours for them to respond to you, but there's been instances in the mountains where the weather hasn't cooperated or it's been nighttime and they haven't been able to get a helicopter or crew to somebody for half a day or longer, and that's actually resulted in some pretty unfortunate results. So you have to be prepared and can't rely on search and rescue all the time. So with the newer devices, you have two-way communication, and this is essential, especially if you do initiate a search and rescue scenario. I've chatted with some search and rescue personnel and they've told me that the fact that they can have communication with a party that's in distress has made things so much easier on their end. They know what kind of injury they're dealing with, what person they're dealing with, what the access is for their helicopters or personnel, and can get to a very specific location as opposed to just trying to find a point on the map. You can describe, I'm underneath this big tree next to this cliff, and they can get right to you very quickly. So while two-way communication is that second reason I think the Garmin InReach and satellite communication devices in general are great, in line with that is being able to coordinate as a group. If you're trying to organize a group and coordinate arriving at a destination at the same time, let's say a few people are starting the trailhead in the morning and a couple of people are starting in the afternoon, then if plans change, you can let people know that those plans have changed through the InReach or Spot devices. All right, the fourth reason, and something I think people don't really talk about much, and maybe it's because there's really broad cell phone reception in the US, is driving on roads without cell phone reception. In Canada and in the Rocky Mountains where I am, there's a lot of sections of road that don't have cell phone reception, and I'm driving on those roads to go on ski trips, backcountry touring, and it makes me feel a lot better to be able to communicate with somebody if I get into a car accident or slide off the road or my car breaks down and I'm in one of these areas that doesn't have cell phone reception. So that's just something to keep in mind, and it was actually the tipping point for me when I was considering getting the Garmin InReach. All right, and reason number 5, and this one's kind of a nice feel-good one, it's just being able to keep friends and family in the loop. My family has told me that they really enjoy getting updates through the InReach. I send them a message, just kind of letting them know where I am, what I'm up to, and they really appreciate that and tell me that it's kind of fun seeing where I am on different trips and locations and kind of tracking me along those journeys. It's especially nice to have that when you're out on solo trips. You can let people know that you're okay and they're not at home worrying about you because they know that you're safe with your check-ins. So while the Garmin InReaches and the associated subscription plans are not cheap, I think it's well worth it for me and for a lot of people that I know. If they spend a lot of time in the backcountry, then it's definitely worthwhile to at least consider picking one up. Nice thing is the InReaches recently went down in price. You can pick them up at REI. I'll post a link in the description below. Makes for a good Christmas present. That's how I got mine for my birthday from my family, which was really nice and something that I really appreciate getting and having when I'm on trips. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.